The View co-host Joy Behar described former President Trump as the most dangerous president in her lifetime Tuesday. Behar, a liberal voice in the talk show who frequently criticizes Trump, said the former president is a perfect target for humor because he is so stupid during a discussion on whether the United States has lost its sense of humor about politics. The guy looks at the eclipse and they tell him, "Don't do that." And he does exactly that. It could have blinded him. He believes Frederick Douglass is still alive. He has no information at all. He is an incredible target for humor. Bayard then added that although the former president is, in her view, an easy target to make fun of, she still regards him as the most dangerous commander in chief she witnessed. He is one of the most dangerous people of my lifetime to ever be in Oval Office, Joy said. He is probably the most dangerous. So you have somebody, he does not have a good sense of humor. The ABC host then referenced the famed incident at the 2011 White House Correspondents Association dinner when then President Obama joked about Trump at a time when the businessman was pushing birther conspiracy theories about Obama. Bayard disparaged Trump for being thin skinned and called him a menace. We all know that the correspondence, or when President Obama made a joke about him, his skin is thinner than his hair, Behar said. He got so pissed off that he had to run for president and go after poor Obama, who was born in this country. He is a menace. Behar is a frequent Trump critic. In 2016, she made similar comments about Trump when the then GOP presidential candidate said he would arm Japan and South Korea, North Korea's enemies. This is the most dangerous man alive right now, in my opinion, Behar said. It's like, weren't you around? Didn't you read your history books? You don't want nuclear proliferation. You want fewer, not more nuclear weapons. So, there is a part of me that can understand where the criticism of, not wanting to arm Japan or South Korea uh, is valid, and also disagreeing with the birther conspiracy theory, which was just this stupid nonsense that was a substanceless attack on Obama at a time when he probably could have gone for a lot more substantive attacks, like being willing to cut Social Security for some tax cuts, but whatever. So all that is well and good, but what my problem with her comments is that, and I've noticed this over the last few years, really since Trump took office, that a lot of these like people who are 40, 50, 60, 70, they're old enough to remember the Bush years. They really have entered this almost like canatonic state where they can take the man who, more so than anyone else, deserves the moniker of the worst recent American president, right? And pretend as if he was just this well meaning, good cowboy. Because even if you could say that Bush 43 had a good sense of humor, this is the same man that started the longest war in American history, the worst, left office with the worst recession since the Great Depression. There is a very valid reason why after 2009, when he retired, he mostly just sits at home in his ranch in Texas, because he was despised. He was hated for very valid reasons. And now, because people have this Trump derangement syndrome, as I like to call it, as like a lot of other people call it unnecessarily whenever he gets criticized, they have convinced themselves, oh no, Trump is actually the worst one ever, and all the other ones were okay or good. No, 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 no. I remember the Bush years. I remember people getting kicked out of their houses. I remember his disastrous response to Hurricane Katrina. I remember the fallout after Iraq, Afghan. Like, I mean, it's insane that revisionist history is so strong that not even 20 years after Bush's presidency ended, the exact next Republican president that we get, they act like is the worst thing that ever came to pass, when I'm telling you he's not. If you want to talk about Trump being different in terms of the insurrection, okay, that's fine, but that's not what she's referring to. She doesn't say he's the most dangerous because, he had supporters that he encouraged to say that the election was stolen. That culminated in January. No, no, she's saying that because, he has thin skin. He made some comments while he was running for president. Nothing having to do with something that sets Trump apart from any of his predecessors. And she uses that as the motive to say he's the most dangerous or whatever. It's goofy, and it's really sad that, you would think, like, a lot of younger people who don't like Trump, I get it. But again, like, even I, as someone who was a kid when Bush was in office, remember how despised he was, and as an adult, understand the validity of those reasons. And nowadays, he gets a pat on the back, to where Bush himself even said that Trump makes him look good in comparison. While people obsess over someone who really, I mean, like if Trump loses this time around, he'll still probably have some public appearances, but his influence has waned. Um, and I do think there's a lot of independents that aren't going to support him trying to get another term. But it's sad that, you know, we have these people who they hyper focus on one man, to where anyone else that was bad, not good, awful, downright disastrous themselves, they get they get vindicated, not because they came out and said, hey, this is not right, I shouldn't have done this. No, Bush doesn't apologize for any of the screw ups that he made in those 8 years. Um, and yet he's getting deified as some figure of what American politics should be, when he's really one of the representations of it at its worst. Someone who succeeds because of their lineage, and then through having no adept knowledge or care or concern, destroys the country in less than 10 years. So there's a reason why people have stopped watching that stupid show. I don't watch it. I just thought this article was so interesting because they anytime you have someone who acts like Trump is the worst president, or, you know, like unequivocally just at the complete bottom, I really question their I would say historical knowledge. But like, Bush has been talked negatively about just throughout the years, like since he was president. Really, since his second term is when his popularity just started like going down the drain. So like, it's crazy that we realized as early back as probably like 2005, 2006 that Bush wasn't good, and now because people dislike Trump so much, like, oh no, he actually was, no, him, his, I will never be part of his rehabilitation.